Hey guys, today you guys are in for a treat because today we have a father and son duo. So, Mark and Josh, welcome to the podcast.
Hey,
Thanks,
Andrew.
So, guys, let's kind of start, Mark, with your journey, right? What was the inspiration for real estate? I mean, were you thinking about real estate for all your life? I mean, you look like you're 25, but when did you start thinking about getting into real estate?
So I've always kind of wanted to be in real estate. I dabbled with it a little bit when I was younger, but didn't have any success like I'm having now.
Okay. So what did you dabble? Did you do flips? Did you try to do rentals? What did you do at that? Try
I
to
had
do
some rentals. I bought them like way too high. I was a retail buyer
Okay.
trying to make money and it doesn't work.
Got it. And so today, now you said that you bought it at retail prices. So at that time, you didn't realize that it could be bought you needed to buy at a deep discount to really be able to make money. Was that kind of what you think went wrong?
That was a new concept to me.
That was a new concept. Okay, got it. All right. And then after, a lot of times if people basically go try something and it doesn't quite work out, a lot of times people are like, oh, it doesn't work. What was the inspiration for you to come back to real estate? I mean, what caused you to come back?
So I had 4 rentals and they did okay. And I ended up getting rid of them. Then along the way, I was listening to podcasts and
Okay.
Facebooks and different YouTube videos and things like that. And actually, I stumbled upon you.
Okay, got it. So basically, it was one of those things where you were trying to look for information and then you came across us.
I was thirsty for knowledge, and you seem to be giving the best knowledge out there. There were a lot of other groups, but at the end of the day, you always seem to nail it, and everyone else wasn't that way.
Got it. Okay. So, Josh, how old are you?
I'm 24 years old.
24 years old. Okay. And so, in terms of real estate at 24 years old, right, you just got done with college.
Yes, and I studied real estate in college.
Oh, you studied real estate in college. Okay. I thought you were a math major for some reason.
College was a whole journey. I was math to finance to real estate to finance and real estate. So,
Okay. Got it. So, you finally got done with finance and real estate?
finally finished.
Okay, got it. All right,
Thank
good.
God.
So, what was the inspiration for you in terms of real estate? Was it your dad, or what was it that drew you to real estate at this age?
Well, I would be lying if I did not say my dad was not a big influence on me.
Okay.
So he kind of opened the door for me. And then when I was 20 years old, I came to my first 3-day.
Uh-huh.
And I did not know anything. So before I went to business school, I did not really understand real estate as a business model. And I just kind of sat there and just kind of soaked it all in. And I was like, this is pretty interesting. It's all about, at the end of the day, it's all about cash flow, right? Like,
Correct. It is all about, that's why the podcast is called
it's all about
cash flow,
It's
right?
all about cash flow, right? So I'm like, And real estate is, for a business model, is very easy to understand. Like, you don't have to be, crazy genius. I've studied math. I've studied these things. I've been around people who are, all crazy in the head with, that stuff. And real estate, anybody can do it. And just get 1 house, get 2 house, get 3 house, build up cash flow.
It's actually real estate really at its highest level is even there. Obviously, you have to have technical expertise to a certain extent, but a lot of it is common sense. The problem is common sense is not so common, right? Like, we all think we're going to do investing, right? What does investing mean? Investing means buying something at a heavy discount, right? Then if it needs, you're adding value, meaning you're improving something and you're increasing the value. And now you can do 2 things, right? You can sell it, which is a flip, or you can keep it forever, which becomes either a rental, Airbnb, any sort of those things. So, Mark, initially when you came, right, you come to Mastery, you come to the 3-day, you come to Mastery, right? And obviously at that time, because you've been in Mastery now for how many years?
It'll be 6 in June.
6 in June. Okay. But if I was supposed to have a poster child for Mastery, right, first couple of years, Mark Goodman would not be it.
That's correct.
That's correct. Okay. So why did you stick with it? Because a lot of times, people will be like, oh my God, this doesn't really work. In a day, in a month or in a year, I didn't have a miracle. And why did you stick with it?
I stuck with it because I knew, and at the end, it was going to be beneficial.
Okay.
For me, it wasn't a short-term play. It's a long-term play. It's about creating wealth, changing the lives of my sons, and being able to have a better retirement.
Got it. Okay. So you had that belief system.
Yes.
Okay. And have you always had the discipline because you're big into health and fitness and I mean you look way younger today than you did maybe 10, 12 years ago, right? And it's
you.
I'm not making this up, right? I did not know you at that time, but I saw one of your old Facebook posts. Like you were much heavier. What was you think your transformation in terms of your lifestyle, in terms of what you do? Because one thing I have always admired about you, you have discipline, right? Where did that come from? Because I mean, clearly at some part of your life, you were not that disciplined, or were you about eating a lot?
Well, I had the seafood diet for a
Right.
while.
Okay.
But at a certain point in time, you got to decide enough's enough, and you got to do what you got to do to make it work.
Okay. Was there something that kind of changed? Was it a health scare? Was it somebody you saw that was like, oh my God, I got to do this? What was the change? Because you went from somebody who was average Joe, right? And then suddenly you start becoming this person who has followed through, not just become fit, but I mean, that's something that you live that message.
So the story is that I was doing Medicare plans for seniors, and I used to go to their houses and write Medicare plans, and I saw all the food and the crap that they were eating and the medications they're on, and I drew a sharp parallel to it, and I'm like, I don't want this.
Okay.
So it was basically a 180.
Got it. So basically, like kind of looking at someone else, like what is experience, right? Experience is something you learn from when it's too late. So you kind of learned from other people's experience.
Correct.
Basically. Okay, got it. And what was it that the first couple of years, right? Because this is something that happens to a lot of people, right? In mastery, I mean, the amount of success we have, what about 1,250 or so people today, close to now about 19,000 or so properties owned, right? Rental properties. So phenomenal amount of number for the number of people in mastery, right? Yet, a lot of people, right? It doesn't happen overnight, right? And what were you struggling with at the time? Was it that you couldn't find the property? Was it that you didn't know where to look? Or was it just that it just took time for it to seep in?
So I had been, I had some experience before, but I didn't do it the right way. I had met another person who took advantage of me and ripped me off. So I was kind of once bitten, twice shy.
Sure.
And then that's when I found the 3-day, and I went to 2-3 days, and that's when I joined Mastery.
Got it. Okay. And so you had not had the best real estate experience, right?
Correct.
Okay. So now moving forward from there, did you do a flip? Did you do a rental? Did you do Airbnb? What was your first foray?
I have not done an Airbnb. I would like to. I did one flip, and it didn't work out so well.
Okay.
So at the moment, just all rentals.
All rentals. Okay. So before we kind of jump into rentals, I want to kind of find out because you've built a business, right? So, Josh, I want to kind of go back to you, and then I'll come back to your dad, which is that you've obviously witnessed this transformation process.
Yes.
Right? I mean, literally, I don't know if I'm sure you've done the math, if you realize it or not, but literally, legitimately, in the last 4 years, 3.5, 4 years, your dad has become a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. You're like, oh, yeah, man, someday, right? But, I mean, literally, he has become a multimillionaire in terms of amount of properties owned, amount of cash flow, right? It's a very respectable number. Have you seen that in terms of personality, in terms of his confidence? Has that changed on a personal level?
I mean, he's always, how do I say? He's not. No, he's kind of always been my dad.
Okay.
Like he's just always been my dad. Like
No, but in terms of real estate, man.
I mean, oh yeah. In terms of confidence, I mean, he's directing me with my acquisitions.
Right.
He's whenever I got questions, I go to him, or if he doesn't know the answer, he knows somebody, or if they don't know, then they know somebody, right? So he's a one-stop shop. He's got everything.
He's got all the connections.
Yes,
now.
he's got it. He's. I mean, at this point, it's just a matter of time and patience. Like it's just up. It's just up from here.
Right.
Like
No, that is so true because
Well said.
yeah. So now I want to kind of go back, right? Because Mark, you've done something which a lot of people when we've suggested this idea, right? I've always believed that if you want to be a multimillionaire, get a job first, right? And you want to be the goal should not be, quote unquote, to be an entrepreneur, because entrepreneur is full of, for every 10,000 entrepreneurs that start, right, maybe one succeeds at a level that is anything to account for, right? Well, I always believe that it's better to have a stable income doing anything, right? Anywhere from driving Uber to having a corporate job, doesn't really matter. But you need to have some income coming in, and then you build on the side. Once you've built it, now you have all the options in the world, right? But just this idea of, oh my God, I'm going to go full time, right? It very rarely works for most people. Unless if you're a real estate agent, stay a real estate agent, keep selling real estate, build your investments, be it flips, be it rentals. Hopefully you build a rental portfolio on the side, right? Which we're trying to encourage everybody to do 2-5-7, which is 2 years, 5 properties, get those paid off in 7. That's what our drive is all the time. So you took a very simple concept of basically being a leasing agent. Now, if I suggest that to a lot of people, they're like, man, why would I want to just do leasing, dude? I make a very little amount of money. I'm not going to do that. Right? Yet you have made a business out of it, and a really respectable business out of it. So when that whole idea was suggested, right? Because Rahul and I had talked about it, Rahul suggested that to you, and what was it like? Okay, I'm going to take this and run with it. What was it? Where were you? What were you doing at that time in your life in terms of career-wise that you were like, okay, I'm going to take a simple concept and I'm just going to run with it?
Well, I remember the moment like it was yesterday. I was actually at the gym on the treadmill, and Rahul called me and he goes, "Hey, do you have time during the day?" I'm like, "Yeah. What do you need?" And he explained it to me, and then he, got me all set up, and I started getting properties. And
I mean, at that time when I said no clue, you had no clue.
I had no clue. I'd never done it before.
You'd never done it before, and I mean, you at that time. He couldn't spell real estate, for the love of God. I mean, I'm being facetious, of course, but what I'm saying is that this was not his background. But a lot of times, what people do, and I think I have a ton of respect for what you've done, is you didn't make it complicated, right? You took an idea, a suggestion, and you're like, okay, I'm going to make the best of it, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it well, right? So today, to fast forward that, basically in the last, let's say last year, how many properties would you say you rented?
140.
140 houses you rented. Okay, got it. And I want to put that in perspective because what kind of income is that a year?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Each one pays a little bit differently because the rents are different. But if you multiplied it by 900.
900, it's not bad,
Yeah.
right? I mean, and here's the thing, right? Somebody listening to this would be like, but man, that's not that much money. Guys, think about it. 100 would be 90,000, right? 140 would be another 45, 50,000 on top of that. Some will be a little bit more, some will be a little bit less. But, think what a leasing agent is. And he's not a leasing agent like he's showing people 50 different properties from 50 different people. You only concentrate pretty much most of your business is a lot of properties that are from Mastery.
That's correct.
Right? And you're only generally in a certain part of town.
Yeah, mostly south suburbs.
Mostly south suburbs of Chicago, right? 99% are going to be all properties that are from somebody from Mastery. Would that be correct?
That's correct.
Right? And and you have this, it's the funniest thing because I saw your kind of the car tours that you do, right? Even during Corona. So explain exactly what it was. It's like a bunch of people that are in cars and you're showing suburban properties. This is not like an apartment building where you have 10 people showing up. So how exactly do you do that?
So when I have a bunch of properties in one area, I'll use like Lansing and Calumet City. So, oftentimes I have anywhere from 4, 5, 6, maybe 8 properties just in that area right there. So on a Sunday, which is primetime showing, it's really easy to, schedule them all together, right? I just make the schedule. Hey, I'll be here at 1 o'clock, here at 1:15, here at 1:30. You can come view one. You can come view them all. It's up to you.
Got it. And so now, what are the advantages to that? Because you're not showing these properties on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
No, I don't show them every day. It's for sure once a week. If a property's getting a lot of attention, I might show that one twice.
But that's it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's not, you're not on their schedule. They are pretty much on your schedule.
That's correct.
Right. Okay. So this is something which is very different for most real estate agents, that he's not doing what a traditional leasing agent does, right? A traditional leasing agent is going to work for maybe an apartment building, is going to be there all the time, right? That's not how you do it at all.
No.
Right. You're basically setting a schedule. And now, whenever you're advertising these properties, be it on Zillow, be it on MLS, wherever you're putting these properties, do you put the times on there or do you take these calls?
Basically, I do it through email.
Okay. So completely through email.
Yes, I had to minimize the calls because at one point the calls were just consuming too much time.
Got it. Okay. Got it. So you basically do it all through email. You're going to set up maybe once a week, if not maybe twice, but generally it's once a week.
That's for each property. I generally show anywhere from 30 to 40 properties a week.
30 to 40 properties you're showing a week.
A week.
Wow. Okay. And this is generally done on Sundays?
Saturdays, Sundays. During the winter, it's a little harder with shortened hours of daylight, colder weather. As we transition more into spring, there's more weekday showings.
Sure. Okay, got it. Okay, but so, I mean, what I'm saying is you're managing your schedule very, very well in that way, right? Okay. So in terms of basically, so you have 10, 15 couples show up at the same property at the same time?
Well, there's a kind of a design behind that
Okay.
because, if you come to one property to view it and you're by yourself, you think you have all day. But when you see 15 other people there, it makes you step up your game.
Got it. Okay. And so basically you're having a bunch of people coming in. There is a demand. You're just demanding all of it at the same hour.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. But if you're someone that's looking for a rental and you get an email that says, hey, I'm showing 8 properties between 1 and 3 o'clock on Sunday, this is valuable information to you.
Sure. It's time efficient for you. It's time efficient for you as the agent showing the property, right? And literally in 2 hours, you can get the whole crowd of people through 2 or 3 properties.
Well, I mean, typically on a Sunday, I'm showing anywhere from 12 to 15.
12 to 15 on a
The most
Sunday.
I've showed in one day is 21.
Oh my God. Okay. Got it. All right. So now talk about the advantages of, you've been a part of this, Josh?
Oh yeah, I mean, like I wanted to say, like on a Sunday, like he'll leave at like noon and he'll be gone like all day. Like I won't hear from him, I won't see him. Like
Right.
he's just showing like 20 properties. Like
Right.
Yeah.
And back to back to back to back to back.
yeah, and I mean, a lot of work goes into preparing that.
Sure.
He's hired his fiance. He pays her to help organize stuff. It's a gradually growing business. It's actually really fascinating to watch.
Got it. So what are the advantages of that? Because now you have a pool of tenants, right? All showing up all at the same time, right? And then how do you do your selection process, right? Because now there are maybe 3, 4 people want the same house.
Yeah, that happens a lot. And I encourage them to, bring their A game through their income, their
Right.
track record or credit report, and money, because sometimes, that's what seals the deal.
Right. I mean, and all of them are there at the same time. So you're being fair to everybody, right?
That's
There's
right.
you're not saying, oh, one tenant over another. It's like, hey, man, there's 4 people interested in the same property. Well, guess what? Right? All 4 of you need to submit. And that puts a huge amount of pressure because they're like, hey, this is not something that, and they can clearly see everybody's going from house to house to house to house. And now everybody's trying to basically find a property.
Right.
Right? Okay. So, and in terms of, so this whole process, was this kind of basically just organic that it developed as you went along, or did you copy this model?
No, it was organic. I grew it as I went along. As I got more properties, it became easier and easier to do.
Got it. Okay. And then today, do you go out and necessarily solicit the business from property owners, or is it just through Mastery? You just kind of get a lot of this business?
Most of it is through Mastery. I have a lot of maybe 5 or 7 other people who are not in Mastery,
Sure.
who are actually friends of people in Mastery, who I've done stuff for. A couple of them live out of state, but that's a very small portion.
Okay, got it. So basically, this is kind of a, what is great about this is it's a great service for all of us, right? And it's a great thing for you because you don't have to spend a dime in advertising or anything. Your job is to provide just great service,
Right.
right? So, Josh, going back to you, right? You just acquired your first property, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. What was the acquisition price on that?
63,000.
63,000. Okay. And then what about the rehab?
The budget was like 32.6. We went over. It was like 33.8.
Okay,
maybe.
33.8. Okay,
Yeah, and the appraisal just came back last Friday at 155, which is what we were looking for.
okay, 155. So
Yes.
let's just kind of go through the numbers. So give me your all-in cost, which is your purchase plus your rehab. How much is that?
Purchase plus rehab is, I mean, I can tell you the all in, like
Just
like
ballpark.
111, like 360.
Okay,
He's got it down to the penny.
Okay,
Yes,
got
yes.
it. Okay,
He's a finance major.
So 111, 360,
Yeah.
and that's all in.
That's everything.
Everything. Okay, got it. And the appraisal came back at
155.
155. Okay, so what are you going to be able to refi out?
116,500. So there's like a $5,000 margin on that.
Got it. So you realize that you basically did the entire process, right? 257, 2 years, 5 properties, pay them off in 7, and all those numbers will fit, right? So exciting.
I had as soon as I got that appraisal back, I had a great day. Like
Yeah.
that was for the best feel. That is the hardest part of this business, is just getting the appraisal.
Sure.
As soon after that point, it was a party.
Right. All right. Good. Okay. But that's your property number one. And in terms of the acquisition, right? Did you have that money saved up? Did you borrow the money? How did you come up with the money?
I borrowed the money.
You borrowed the money. Okay.
Somebody in Mastery.
Somebody in Mastery. Okay. So you borrowed the money from somebody, private money within Mastery, right? Which is exactly what we want you to do. And then you're going to refi them out, pay them back, and repeat the process over again.
Absolutely.
Got it. Okay. So, Mark, your first property, right? First property was a tough property. I believe I saw that property actually.
In Lansing.
In Lansing, right? You got that as a wholesale deal.
I did.
Okay. So Farah sold you that property. Correct? Okay. So that was your first property as a wholesale deal. Now, with your rehabs, I mean, you're managing, obviously, your full-time business job, whatever you want to call it, is being a real estate agent, right? Where you're basically leasing a lot of properties. That's your main business. Do you do any sales or no?
In terms of
As
real
an
estate
agent.
sales, I had 3 sales last year and 140 rentals.
Okay, got it. All right, good. So basically, your focus is doing a lot of rental properties, right? That's your focus.
That's correct.
So sales are, if they come by, and that's that.
Right.
Okay. So in terms of as far as rehabbing the property, do you rehab them? Do you have a crew? How do you manage that?
I don't do any work. I'm very hands off.
Okay.
That's not my forte. I'm not even going to begin to go there.
Okay.
So I'm looking for qualified people to do the work for me.
Okay. So you basically sub that work out.
Correct.
Okay, got it. And so today, what does your rental portfolio look like?
So I have 20 properties. It's a total of 25 doors. I just got an appraisal back on a 4-unit in Chicago Heights. It appraised for 330.
330. What did you
330.
buy that one for?
83,
83. Okay.
150 in rehab.
150 in rehab, so 83 plus 150, so you're in it for 225, 230.
He's leaving a little bit of money.
Okay.
But the cash flow is where it's at.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have about maybe $5,200 a month coming in the door.
Every
Cash-
month.
Yeah, without the cash flow, that's just rents coming in.
Got it.
I don't have the final numbers yet
Sure.
because I'm in the refi process,
Sure.
but I'm guesstimating I should have about $2,500 in cash flow.
Net
Yeah.
after expenses. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so now let's talk about this, right? Because so you have 20 properties and 25 doors, some of them being multi-units.
Yes.
Okay, so now on something like that, on a stabilized portfolio, right?
Correct.
Of 25 doors, net income a month, what does that look like to you?
Well, if they were all stabilized, there's a couple that's
Sure.
not. But if it was
You're working on it,
stabilized, I would shoot for a minimum of 500 a door. What's the math on that?
It's like
Josh?
he's basically making like 100, like 10 to 12 grand
A month.
a month.
Yeah. Net.
Yeah, that's
Net.
that's cash flow. That's
net
in-
cash flow
that's
after
in-
expenses.
Yes.
Right. And, the reason I ask that is a lot of times people have this belief, oh my God, I have to buy big stuff. I have to buy big multifamily, right? And I'm 100% against it, which is I'm not against multifamilies. I'm against buying bigger just for the sake of buying something bigger, right? You buy stuff that, number one, has equity, number two, has cash flow, and number three, the DCR hits, right? 1.33 DCR is what we buy based on. Now, will all your properties meet all those criteria?
For the most part, yes. Maybe not all, but the cash flow is pretty strong on a lot of
Pretty
them.
on a lot of them. Okay, got it. I mean, and that's respectable, man. I mean, 25 doors and about $12,000 a monthly cash flow, right? I mean, that's a home run. So at this point, right, realistically, where are you trying to go with this? Are you trying to grow your leasing business? Are you trying to grow your rental business? What does a year, 2 years from now, what does Mark look at it as his own goals?
So my goals for right now would be to maybe kind of be more hands-off in the rental business.
Okay.
I'm looking at virtual assistants for leases.
Okay.
And maybe incorporating a little bit of AI into that. Josh is
I'm
helping me.
helping him with that.
Okay, got it. All right.
I'll be clear on that.
Okay. So, in terms of properties, you have a goal, what you want to get up to?
Yeah, and that kind of keeps changing. You know, my first LPN, lifestyle property number, it was lower, and I've hit it. So I kind of want to keep going.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so you hit that goal. You're like, okay, I can get. What was that number, by the way? Now,
It was 12.
$12,000.
No, well, it was
12 properties.
12 properties.
Oh, 12 properties.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're long past that.
I'm
now.
long past
Okay,
that.
got it. All right, good. So, Josh, what about you? Because you obviously are exposed to a lot of people, right? Within Mastery, with all of us, right? What does the future look like for you? Real estate, something else? What are you thinking about?
Yeah. So for me, the next 10 years is just real estate.
Okay.
I may dabble in some other business ventures, but that's just to get more income to put it all in real estate.
Got it.
And I see, I'm turning 25 in like a month. So I see when I'm 35, I'll be, making over $1 million a year in cash flow from real estate. And then now I have time freedom. I have more resources and I can go invest in other ventures and things that maybe get higher growth rates. But it all starts with real estate.
Got it. So the goal is to get to about 85,000, 90,000 a month net cash flow income, right? Long way to go.
Yes.
But I mean, you have a great father who has kind of paved the way, right?
Absolutely.
So you got to at least beat him by 3 or 4 times because he's made it easier for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So having said that, guys, this has been a pure joy, right? Congratulations. You guys deserve it 100%.
Thank you.
For what you guys have accomplished. Having said that, guys, remember, it's all about cash flow, right? Because there are 2 types of people where cash is going out and cash is coming in. The question is, who are you? If you have more cash coming in than cash going out at the end of every month, guess what? You are a person which we would call a wealthy person, meaning you have more cash flow than goes out. This is Andrew Holmes. I'm here with Mark and Josh. Guys, congratulations again. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.